Welcome to the Next Level Life podcast with Christine Corcoran. This podcast is made for the powerhouse businesswomen who are ready to ignite their fullest potential. This is where we will dive deep into the mindset breakthroughs and sprinkle in some kick up the butt motivation so you can scale your business with confidence and clarity. Whether you're craving more income, impact, or inspiration, this podcast will be your ultimate resource for all things next level. Listen in as we have authentic conversations with game-changing female entrepreneurs as we reveal the secrets on what it takes to rise and thrive. So go ahead, ignite your inner fire, and let's get you taking massive aligned action. Are you ready to elevate? Let's go. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh my goodness, how the hell are we in August? Like, it is ridiculous how fast this year is flying. I feel like July was so fast. I just was like, seriously, time to slow the hell down. And we are now in the final lead up to the Unstoppable Women event, and it's coming around almost too fast. And I think also I need to highlight that to you too, because it's going to be here before we know it. Like, we're going to blink and it's going to be here. And if you haven't booked your ticket yet, you're going to miss out and you're going to be so upset, because every part of this event is so detailed and planned. And that's honestly what I want to talk about today, because there is so much about this event that I feel like has been happening behind the scenes that maybe I haven't shared with you just yet. And honestly, like, there's been moments where I'm like, I'm crazy. Like, this is the craziest thing to do all on your own. To fund an event this size, to create and build out an event this size, to hope, wish and pray that it is exactly the way you want it to be, to hope, wish and pray that people show up and support it. Like, oh my gosh. So let's talk about it. I've been having conversations with the speakers, finalizing their slides and getting all ready for their keynotes. And this is actually where the rubber hits the road, right? Like, in this last 6 weeks of preparation, we are getting to the nitty gritty of making sure that everything's coming together. And I thought I would do an episode of a bit of behind the scenes of what it takes to put an event on this size. And honestly, it's like a logistical nightmare. And thank God I have my sister to help support. So she's done a lot of events in the past and she's my event coordinator. She also is the coordinator on the day. So she will help keep everything running to time, make sure everyone is where they need to be, make sure that the hotel is keeping everything in line with what we need. So it's going to be so great to have her on the day. But a lot of it in the lead up is very much me. It's very much me. And as much as I have a small team, it all comes back down to me, to be honest. And there's not a lot that I can hand off to the team, because it is the decisions. It's the decisions that I need to make every step of the way. It's the marketing, which I feel like if I don't do it myself, and this might also be something that I'll work on for next year, if I run an event next year. And I want to speak to why this event almost didn't go ahead and the lessons that I've had along the process of this. And I don't know for sure if I'll run it again next year. So if you want to make sure that you actually get to experience it, then you need to support this one. Like, don't sit there and wait and be like, oh, I'll go to next year. There may not be a next year, and I'm going to tell you why. So yeah, even though I have a team and I think that, they're great at what they do, I feel like there's an energetic side that goes with our marketing that I'm just finding more and more with AI, that if I don't back that post with all the energy, the right energy, I don't honestly feel like it does well. And we need to have, the energy is so incredibly important for the event. So I want it to make sure that it lands properly. I want to make sure that the music is right hit for the reel that I'm creating. I want to make sure that I'm getting across the right message. So it's honestly a lot of it has come down to me. And every time I have a meeting, so now leading from now up until the event, every single Friday, I meet with my sister and we go through the run sheet. We go through absolutely everything to pull it all together. It's taken a bit to get sponsors on board, although we've got some incredible sponsors for the event, but it's taken a lot longer for people to pull the pin and make sure it's actually going ahead than I thought and was expecting. And unfortunately, then that meant that there's certain decisions that had to be slowed in the process. So I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so firstly, if you've already grabbed a ticket, I'm so excited that you're going to join us. You're going to honestly have the best day. Every single speaker is bringing such powerhouse sessions. And day 2 is going to be even better. I've honestly so excited. I'm so excited for day 2. I've planned out the exact run sheet and exactly how things are going to flow. And I'm just so excited for it. And now I get to start doing a little bit more of the fun stuff. Now, I wanted to spend this episode talking about what almost made me not run the Unstoppable Women event, because one of the things I often hear from people as I'm talking more about the event and I'm having conversations with people online and in person is the magnitude of the event that I'm trying to create. And I was saying to one of my friends the other day when she was talking about an event that she runs, And I was saying like the AV is probably going to cost me maybe $7,000 to $8,000, just the AV for the day. Like, isn't that insane? Like, that is insane. That's much more than what I invested last year in the event. And even this year, we're doing the food as well. So last year we didn't do food because I was the first time running the event. I wasn't sure whether I'd get the numbers in order to cover the costs, because the food is probably the most expensive part of running an event this size. And so when we changed venues and came down to the QT, and I wanted it to be on the Gold Coast this time because I really wanted it to be a destination. I had a lot of people fly in last year, so I really wanted it to be a destination. I wanted people to be able to come up from south of Gold Coast right through to Brisbane to the sunny coast. I actually got a lot of sunny coast people booked in, which is great. I wanted it to feel like a little getaway for you. So I wanted to find somewhere that would have the hotel as well, so then people could stay and would feel like a beautiful little getaway, like a retreat, right? And it's a tax deductible retreat, so even better. And so I wanted to find a hotel that we could also do the food with, because it was one of the biggest issues last year. It's like people had to leave to get food, which, you know, in my opinion, isn't always a bad thing. But I think when it comes to the connection and the collaboration, so much more of that happens on the lunch break. And when you're encouraged to stay because food is being delivered in the venue, then there's so much more time for connection. And so I really wanted to do that this year, even though then the expenses then go up like $15,000. And that is a lot. So again, when we're trying to figure out the ticket price, we obviously have to factor in all the expenses of what it takes to run an event this size. And I have kept them so lean. So, you know, I can't offer major discounts for people to book in. I can't go and just drop the price because I really want to get more people in the room, because that would mean that I would have to fork out thousands and thousands of dollars on my own, even though I am in the process, because you do have to pay a lot of this upfront before the ticket sales come in, right? So the food was the biggest expensive part of it. And after the last event, I absolutely loved it. And I was like, yes, I want to do it again. And then at the beginning of this year, when we were going through all the quotes for the hotels and looking at different venues, it was a big hesitation, because I was like, if we go and do this again, can I back it up? Like, can I actually ensure that we'll be able to pull this off again? Can I be sure that people are going to support the event again? You know, last year, everyone really came out of the woodwork, and, you know, from clients that I hadn't spoken to in years, right through to friends and old colleagues that I'd worked with like years before starting my business, like people came out of the woodwork, and it was amazing. And so they supported it. And that was honestly like the biggest heart-fulfilling part of that event, was the support that came through from every person, and how people really wanted to get behind it and they shared it and all of that. And now, because we're now coming around for the second time round, a lot of the people that have booked tickets so far are very much new people to me. So they're probably coming for other speakers. They maybe they're probably coming because they saw some of the content from last year and they want to be a part of it again. And it's also then, it's just different patterns, right? You notice in business is that first and foremost, the people in my corner really supported me. This second time round, I imagine that a lot of my clients and a lot of my people are like just sitting and waiting and seeing whether they're going to come along, and they know they can get a ticket last minute, even though you can't actually. I'm going to be closing tickets off at least a couple of weeks before, because this venue does require it in order for us to give dietaries and determine numbers and all the things. They actually have a shorter cutoff time than what we had last year, because last year we didn't include food. So that's a bit of a logistical nightmare, because obviously I want people that are going to be last minute bookers, because I just know people sometimes are, that I want to give them the option to still join us. And I know, like, I've even gone to attend an event and gone, oh, I should get that ticket, and then forget. And then before you know it, it's like the week of, and you're like, oh shit, I really need to book a ticket. And then you can't. I've had that happen a couple of times, and I've stopped doing that because I don't want to be a last minute booker. I want to plan for it. And for this one, obviously, you have to take a full day out of your business. So you do need to plan for it. And I feel like, you know, I made the tickets as lean as I possibly could because I wanted it to be affordable for people. Then I mapped out some payment plans, which I didn't do last year, but this time I did some payment plan options. And just, it's been really interesting to see the different patterns of buying behavior from customers this year versus last year. And, you know, whether it's been cost of living or whether it's people still deciding whether they're going to do general or whether they're going to do VIP. If that's you, like, you need to book your VIP ASAP, because there's only a few left and you will miss out. Like, you will miss out because I have to cap that and I cannot increase it. I cannot change the room that we're in for day 2. They've told me that already. It's already locked in. I cannot change it. I cannot expand it. So if you're thinking, oh, I'll just book VIP last minute, you won't get it. I'm sorry, you won't. And I won't be able to be like, even if you're someone that's close to me or someone that, a client that works with me, even if you come to me and you're like, please, is there any chance that I can now upgrade to VIP? I'm sorry, I will have to say no, because the venue literally won't allow me to do it. There's only a certain number of seats in that room and only a certain number of people that I can cater for on that day. So if you want VIP, please secure your ticket ASAP. So with the high level of investment when it came to securing the food, plus then the AV, plus the venue, plus all the extra things that go along with creating an event this size, I recognize that I'd have to spend probably $25,000 more than what I spent last year. Now, let that land for a second. As a solo business owner, $25,000 more than what you put aside last year. It's crazy. It's crazy. And so, I do rely on the ticket sales very much so to ensure that we can make this event go ahead. So I'm not making any decisions about next year at all until after the event. So I cannot guarantee that I'm going to run this again. As much as I want it to be an annual event that I run every single year, I want that. But we have to have the support behind it. We have to have people in the room that are showing up for the event in order for it to be something that I can at least break even with in order for me to run it again, right? Plus, for me to get the best speakers, like I've got incredible speakers flying in from all over. I've got 2 flying in from New Zealand. I've got 1 flying in from Melbourne, 1 flying in from Sydney, 1 flying in from regional New South Wales, another one from far north Queensland. Like for people to fly in and see this event as worthwhile for them to be speaking on the stage, for me to get big speakers, I need to be able to show that I can fill the room. And as I want to start pitching to US-based speakers to come out here, I've got to show that I can fill the room. And so I want to continue to do this. And I know this is not on you, as you're listening to this, I hope it's not coming across please book a ticket. I don't mean that. I just mean it takes a lot of risk to go ahead and put on an event like this. And I may be a little bit insane when it comes to that, but I'm just praying, hoping and wishing that you'll come and support it and be a part of it. Because honestly, when you're in that room, you're going to know and feel that it was the best decision you've made all year. I know the women that are attending, already when I look at the list of people who are attending, they're high-level entrepreneurial women. They're people that are really in it for the long run. They're not dabblers. They're not people who are just starting out. If you really want to be surrounded by other incredible, ambitious women, this is absolutely your event. And if you're listening to this podcast, then 100% this is for you, 100%. So the other thing that really kind of was a consideration at the beginning of the year when I was like, okay, do I do this again? Was not just the high level of investment that it would take to put this event on. Secondly, it was a logistic element of it, right? So I run a couple of coaching programs. I have my one-on-one coaching clients as well. And that takes a lot of my energy. And so last year when I was putting the event together, I was pretty much working almost every weekend because I needed that time to work on the event because the rest of the week was pretty much taken up with my businesses. So it is a logistical nightmare in that way. And I actually have dropped a program of mine this year. So I'm not running Unstoppable Sales this year. And that came from another decision of then launching the Unstoppable Women Collective, which I haven't really talked much about, but I will talk about it soon. I launched that because it was a change in the way that I deliver it and also change in the way that I'm launching this year. So much is changing in the business space. So it's been so fascinating as well to be like, okay, well, I almost created extra space for myself to be able to run the event, but it's also still taking a lot of time. And so I haven't really been able to have much of a big holiday or anything like that this year because all my money is literally going into running this event. And I was saying to my sister the other day, I'm like, maybe next year I'll just spend the 50K and go overseas. And she's like, yeah, you could do that. The reason why I didn't, right? The reason why I am running the event and the reason why I am investing my money in this and am investing my time and energy in this is because I'm so incredibly passionate about making sure that you, if you're a woman in business, that you move beyond your own limitations and prove to yourself that you're capable of so much more. And we stop letting tall poppy syndrome diminish us. I started this because I spent time in America and realized how much the tall poppy syndrome keeps Australian women in business playing small. And you don't realize that you're doing it. And it's not your fault, right? We're conditioned to believe that we shouldn't shine bright. We're conditioned to believe that if we were to succeed, that you're going to stand out and then people are going to tear you down. We're conditioned to believe that if we go and support another person's business, it's going to take away from our own. And the tall poppy syndrome also stops us from really shouting from the rooftops why we're great. And for you to succeed, especially in this next couple of years in business, when we're going to be bombarded with more AI content, we're going to be bombarded with all these different types of AI businesses, it's taking away from so much of our business that if you don't stand out from the crowd, if you don't tell people why you're great, if you don't highlight your uniqueness to the world, you may not have a business in a couple of years. And I know that sounds like doom talk, but honestly, if you haven't thought about it, it's time to think about it, because that's what's going to make you stand out, is you being more you. You being able to speak about your business and share the successes that you create, because that's what's going to make people buy from you. If you're not willing to shout it from the rooftops, talk about your client wins, talk about your business wins, talk about your opinion and share what makes you different and unique and why we should pay attention to you, which is all the things that tall poppy syndrome tells us not to do, right? Because it's not safe. Those are the things that are going to hold you back from really succeeding in business in the next couple of years. And that's what I've shaped this whole event around. Every single speaker is going to help you be more of you, is going to help you to stand up and stand out, is going to help you to speak up, use authority in your voice, be able to communicate effectively. It's going to help you be able to move through and break through your limitations and whatever's holding you back and whatever your brain is telling you and all the fear that's keeping you stuck. That's the whole purpose of this event. And I also want it to be this space where you come along and you're like, wow, there is a space for me. And there is this representation of success that is safe. And that we do have a community that is going to uplift us. And I am able to make really great connections at this next level. That's what this event is all about. You being surrounded by other incredible women, lifting you up, wanting to see you win, cheering you on, encouraging you to be bold, encouraging you to speak up, encouraging you to tell us why you're so amazing at what you do and not be judged for it. That's what this event is all about. So I want you to put aside all the things that you're telling yourself about why you can and can't attend this event, right? Whatever it is, whether it's the price, whether it is the time, whether it's feeling like you may not belong in the room, I want you to know you will absolutely feel like you belong. You will. Because that's the environment that I create with events. And if you've not experienced it yet, I cannot wait for you to experience it. And I'm going to leave you with this. Big risks create more stress, create more limitations, create more opportunities for you to grow. So whenever I'm having a hard time with this, whenever I'm doubting whether people are going to buy tickets, whether I'm doubting that it's all going to come together in the perfect way that I want it to, I always come back to, you are going to grow through this. Imagine who you'll become in the process of making this work. Imagine who you become in the process of selling this event out. You get to do that. And the more I remind myself to lead rather than doubt or fear, the more that I remind myself that every single time I get to choose how I want to show up today, that's going to be the difference between people showing up in the room and people not showing up in the room. It's me. And as much as sometimes that level of responsibility can be heavy, I have to remind myself that that's the price we pay when it comes to taking big risks like this. It's the price we pay when we want that next level of success. So wherever you're at in business right now, if you're feeling stressed, you're feeling overwhelmed, feeling like you've bitten off more than you can chew, you need to recognize that you're actually thinking like the old version of you. You've got to start thinking like the succeeded version of you, the person who's already achieved it, and think about that next level leadership that you need to show up as. And that's what I do. I just remind myself of like, imagine who you'll become now when you know that you can do this, when you pull it off again the second time, when you're in that room and you're like, God damn, I can't believe this happened. Like, I can't believe how hard this was, yet you made it work. I can't believe that everyone showed up in this way. I can't believe this incredible energy and environment we've created here is blowing your goddamn mind. Like, I cannot wait for that to happen. And I've got to hold the vision for it in the process. And it's not always easy. It's not always easy, but that's what happens when you take big risks. And I'm not saying don't take them. I'm saying take them and then grow through it, because that's what will happen. All right, lovely. I hope you book your ticket to Unstoppable Women. Head to unstoppablewomen.au right now and grab your ticket. Stop holding back and buy your ticket, secure your spot and get your seat, because you are going to absolutely congratulate yourself for it. I'll see you in the room in September. Thank you for listening. And if you found any value out of this episode, make sure you hit the follow button so you get access to the episodes as soon as they are live. And make sure you come hang out with me on Instagram. You can find me at ChristineCorcoran_coach. Have an incredible week.